Hello, and welcome back to another episode of SkyrimPlus. Today I'm featuring White River Cottage by Jen Tester. For our world space view, here's the entrance to Riverwood on the White Run side. As we turn, you can see Bleak Falls Barrow in the background, there's the White River, the waterfall, there's the bridge from Riverwood to White Run, and just to the right of the bridge, we find a for sale sign for our home. For sale, beautiful fully appointed cottage with children's bedroom and quarters for followers. The price is just 15,000 septims. Do you wish to purchase? I will purchase. The following items have been added to your inventory. The key to the house, a note from the vendor's agent. May the divines bless and guide you in your new home. Okay. And it turns into a White River Cottage sign. How quaint. And speaking of quaint, check out your wonderful view of the White River. It's looking great today. As you can see, this property's full of trees and plant life. It's super scenic. Now let's go check out the garden area. Whoops, sorry Mr. Chicken. First, you have a cow that you can activate and milk for 2 jugs of milk a day. If you see some bees flying around, that's because you have your own apiary. And you can see several chickens. They have their nest with harvestable chicken eggs under their own custom coop. And check out this beautiful cherry blossom tree and lavender. This garden looks spectacular. Now let's see if I can squeeze between the gate and the chicken. A little bump, but not too bad. Here's a butterfly and a bee enjoying the beautiful day, and it looks like that deer's thinking about going for a swim. And this looks like a good spot to stop and check out the home. And the exterior's really attractive. I think you guys are going to really love this home. Here's a horse stable straight ahead, and here are their troughs by the garden fence to keep them hydrated. Speaking of hydrated, you have your own well for fresh drinking water on the corner of your wraparound porch. And all around the porch you'll find these mini Blackreach lights to light the exterior. And if you like this flooring on the porch, I have a mod that alters Riften flooring, and it looks like this author used Riften flooring as the base for their porch, so I'll leave that in my pinned comment. We also have a really detailed front door. How fancy. There's another cherry blossom tree. Look at the tundra cotton. This place is really well landscaped. And check out this view of the White River. It doesn't get much better than this. You can even see Dragon's Reach in the corner, and it looks like that deer took off for the swim. These white roses represent 8 fertile soils where you can plant whatever you want. Here's a brazier for some heat and light at night. And here's a dining room table to enjoy a meal on a nice day outside and enjoy your flowers. And then there's a bench to sit out and enjoy the weather. Now that we've seen the outdoor features, let's go see inside. And here we are inside of White River Cottage. When you enter, you come into the kitchen, but it's also open to the living room area. And I know what some of you are thinking. That furniture's too modern. I know, but just stick with me because this is a really unique home. There's a shrine of Mara, a strongbox, and some decoration by the door. Look at that cool lamp. You've got some sweets in case you're hungry from your journeys. Here's some custom flour, salt, sugar, and cocoa containers. Here's a working butterchurn, a really nice window, and then a grinder that can grind your wheat into flour. And then check out the sink. I've got it turned on so you can see that the knob actually works with running water. Here's your oven for your baking needs. Next to that you have your cooking pot and a tea kettle. It looks like you can have some bread for a snack and a place to store some pots and pans. Here's a dining table. Another entryway into the living room. A spot for your drinks. Name storage for food. And some harvestable ingredients. Now that we've seen the kitchen, let's head to the living room. And here we are inside of the living room, the most divisive room in the house. I know some of you won't care for those couches, but I'm okay with them. And check out this crystal chandelier. That looks opulent. To the side you have a painting of some wolves, a couple of globes, and some nice flowers. Check out this painting on the wall of the adventurer riding a horse past the dragon. And then you've got some books with the bookends being some dogs. That's cute. And I'm pretty sure these are custom rugs because I don't remember seeing these before. This brick fireplace is attractive, and look at the ship on the mantle. That's some detail right there. And as we circle back, I wanted to show you that you have a display wall too. You don't have to put anything there, it's already provided by the mod author. I just thought it looked pretty neat. And now we'll squeeze between these couches to see the other side of the room. You have some more of this custom furniture with a stand for your flowers and a bookshelf. Here's a spot for you to play chess with a friend. Maybe you can beat Inigo or Lucian. Here's another table where you and your followers can enjoy a nice meal. And check out those seat covers, those look really cool. Over here you have some more storage, and check out this painting. The artwork in this home is fantastic. I'll try to show you as much of it as I can. And before we head up the stairs, here's another painting. It looks Lord of the Rings inspired. And as we head up the stairs, you can see a shrine to Kinnereth and another one of those beautiful windows. And now we're entering our kids' bedroom. Check out the curtains, the bed sheets, they're all custom and they look really nice. And check out this painting on the wall. It reminds me of Candyland. Here's an adventurer's painting. This is probably a boy's bed. Here's your toy box with some blocks. A seat by the fire where you can read to your kids. You've got a teddy bear on the table over there. Here's a rocking horse. You've got a custom chest and a butterfly painting. That's probably a girl's bed. A painting of a woman chasing some swans. And a painting of some unicorns. This must be the girl's side of the room. And there's another adventurer's painting, so that's probably a boy's bed. There's a training dummy for them to get ready to follow in your footsteps. And look at this little play area for them by the door. They have some action figures to play with, and this alphabet painting is top notch. Any kid would be lucky to have that space to live in. And right across from their room is your room, so you can keep them safe. Here are some wardrobes. A nice spot to sit by the fire. Those are some really nice chairs too. Here are a couple of more wardrobes and a chest for additional storage. There's no lack of storage in this home. There's a statue and a shrine of Debella in the bedroom, that's appropriate. And then you have some bookshelves for the bookworms of Skyrim. You've got a strongbox and a really cool painting. It kind of looks like Sindora's cottage in the woods to me. On that table is another copy of your deed and some storage for letters and notes. You've got a nice picture of the ocean. There's another nice chair, some more storage containers, and a double bed for you and your spouse to share. And now we're going to walk back downstairs and check out the basement. While we're doing that, make sure to hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing so far, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. As we turn to go down the stairs, we see some more beautiful artwork. And I have a lighting mod that's adding particle lights to these mini Blackreach lanterns, so if that effect's bothering you, just know that you probably won't have to deal with it. And now we're going to head through these doors and head towards the basement. I think most people will find this the most impressive part of the home. All of these jars are named storage for the individual items that are inside of them, so like Lyron's homes that have really detailed named storage, Gentester's mods do too. Here's your arcane enchanter with themed art. The buttons on the table can take and sort the soul gems in your inventory into these glass jars, and then the other buttons place them back in your inventory. The jewelry is named storage for each individual type like rings, amulets, etc. You also have tons of bookshelves for the bookworms of Skyrim. I don't think you'll be running out of book storage anytime soon. And then here's your alchemy lab. It has the same sorting system as the arcane enchanter, but it places the ingredients in their appropriate jar. And they subdivided the name storage for potions into healthy potions, harmful potions, and miscellaneous potions. As we head to the hall, Gentester's rolled out the red carpet for us. This hallway acts as a display space, but we'll check that out in a bit. First, we'll head through this room on the left, which is your followers' room. Here's a dining table for them to enjoy their meals. There's a shelf in the back with a shrine of Julianos, and on this side of the room, you have 3 beds for followers and a picture of the river. It looks like they have a nice spot to make some tea. Here's another cabinet with a shrine of Akatosh, and I think that all of the shrines are represented in this home. And here's another 3 beds and another picture of the river. So for those of you that are keeping score, that's 6 follower beds and 2 river pictures. And they have an office space with a map to plan out their next adventure. Now that we've seen the followers' room, let's head across the hall to check out our full smithing suite. Straight ahead, there's a well, a wood chopping block, a display wall for your shields. There's name storage for ore behind your smelter. And then here's your forge and anvil, and it even has a water supply for those of you that are particular about that. Here's name storage for your ingots, your workbench, plenty of places to display your new weapons. Here's your grindstone, a shrine to Zenithar, and storage for leather and pelts right next to the tanning rack where you'd use them. And now that we're done with this space, we can head back to the hall and check out the area for displays. Here you'll find plenty of mannequins, shield and weapon plaques. Here's a display for your paragons. Here are labeled chests for vanilla and enchanted weapons and ammo, named storage for staves. And then here's another display area for Dragon Priest masks, skull keys, and dragon claws. Just have the items in your inventory and press the button on the side of the shelf. Here's a space to display your Dragonborn Dragon Priest masks and the Elder Scrolls, a boss chest, and I'll give you one more spin around the room to show you the display cases we passed when we came in the door and a view of all 6 mannequins. And now we're ready to head to the final room. This space has a really nice pool that grabs your attention as soon as you walk in. I love the contrast between the wood and the blue tiles. And above the pool you have another one of those chandeliers, so another taste of opulence. Each corner of the pool has some pillows that you can activate and lay down and just relax and enjoy the day. And here's a close-up view of those beautiful blue tiles. And check out this fountain and statue centerpiece. It really makes the home feel unique. As much as I'd like to stick around and lounge in this pool, we have a tour to complete. Check out these plants by the entryway to the room. You have another chess table with a shrine of Nocturnal and Arcane above, and a statue of the Grey Fox. Here are a couple of tables to enjoy a snack by the pool. And everywhere where you see these white roses planted is a fertile soil. So you have 28 additional fertile soils plus the 8 that you had outside, and some nifty bird paintings as well. In this corner is a bathroom with a royal throne where you can sit and think. There's some lavender for odor control and a Dwemer lever that you can activate to flush. And it even makes the flushing noise. The sink also has running water controlled by the knob, and there's another gorgeous painting. Now let's go check out the other side of the room. Starting to the right, you have a shrine of Talos, some display cases for daggers, and a spot to display the black books. Just have them in your inventory and activate the button on the shelf. Here's a cozy place to sit by the corner fireplace and enjoy your quaint bird paintings. Here's a bar to get a quick drink for the pool. And along the back wall, there are 18 more fertile soils where you see the white roses planted for a total of 54 soils for the home. Now that we've seen all of the features for this home, it's time for final thoughts. White River Cottage is a fantastic home located right next to the bridge in Riverwood. It's right on the edge of the White River and offers some amazing views. The home has a double bed for you and your spouse, 6 beds for your kids, and 6 beds for your followers. You have access to a cooking pot and oven, and a butterchurn and grinder for your cooking needs. You have sinks with operational water. There's a cow you can milk, chicken's eggs to harvest, an apiary, and a stable for your horse. The home also has all of the typical crafting stations, like a full smithing suite, a woodchopping block, an alchemy lab, and an arcane enchanter, as well as thorough name storage and a system to auto-sort the items into their appropriate jars and collect them again if you need them for the road. There were areas to display your favorite weapons and armor, along with some of the unique items you collect throughout your playthrough. You have access to all of the shrines to the divines, a working toilet, 54 fertile soils, and an amazing pool, perfect to beat this summer's heat. If you need a home near Riverwood and have $15,000 to spare, consider moving into this home. This concludes my feature of White River Cottage. If you enjoyed this content and want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell icon if you want to be notified of when I post. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next episode.